Yo. Manny, you know what's crazy, bro? You literally told me right before we started that I'm going to play the commercial, so don't get freaked out. And I still started talking right before you tried to play the commercial.
I pulled the Kendrick Nunn on you.
So I wanted to tell everybody what's up. Thank you for joining us on the post game stream. The Heat come back and win 113-107 against the Pistons. We had a lot of good games to talk about. We had a lot of good games from players that we could talk about. We're gonna keep the show relatively light, relatively short, because it's the Pistons, and we should have did this last game. So first, we're gonna start. Like I'm thankful that we got a win. If I'm a bash him, then I'm grateful when we get a win. Bam Adebayo came and played like the match player that he is. Bam had what was it? I can't see. I gotta pull it up. It's 20 something points, like a rebound.
Let me just open it up on a much bigger window.
That's cool. I got it on my phone. So Bam had 28 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 9 for 15 shooting. Definitely one of his better, more well-rounded performances. The jumper was hitting. He was aggressive on the boards. He was, finding people in the lane. Wonderful game from Bam. We got a good game from Dragic. The steady influence that he was. He got to start tonight. Duncan Robinson did his thing. So let's talk about the big stories of the night. Like, see in the comments, Kendrick fucking Nunn. Okay? Listen. Kendrick Nunn and Mo Harkless. So we've been killing those two dudes the entire season. Neither one of them has given a shit. They haven't played well. Like, they've been in every trade package for everything. But tonight they showed up. And Kendrick Nunn in particular is probably one of the biggest reasons that we won. He came in and he was able to give us that spark off the bench that we wouldn't have with Goran starting. He came in, he balled, man. He was aggressive. Mid-range jumper was hitting. He was getting cooked on defense by Derrick Rose. Well, what the fuck do you expect? It's Kendrick Nunn. On the flip side, we had Mo Harkless. Mo Harkless didn't score worth a damn, but his defense on Jeremy Grant was huge for us in this game. He played bigger than he was. And I think the move sliding him to the 4, not the 4, but sliding him to the 3 and letting him play next to KO and another big, like that really helped him out. We got my man Jonathan Rumlicon joining us today. But Manny, I want to get to you. What did you notice from the game? I know I just spent a lot of time talking.
No, man, I think it's important what actually me and you were just talking about right before we came on is that KZ started, he got in foul trouble. Obviously, don't even look at the plus-minus ratio for him because holy crap, like I can't believe in 4 minutes that's what actually happened. But it's like you said, like Mo actually came off the bench, and even though again points weren't there, rebounds were he played that defense that it was necessary when he was in there against Grant, right? Because Grant was the guy besides Rose that was probably carrying them basically the whole game. And then you see Nunn's numbers, and you're like, okay, that was decent. But then you see a plus in there in his ratio, and you're like, man, if there was just something that could have happened, a little bit earlier in this season, like this tonight, man, I'm pretty sure the whole Heat culture feeling that we've had the last couple of nights would have not been so bad. But listen, a win's a win. I'm not gonna take it away, man. But we were just leading by 3 after we just played horrendous offense on the field. I don't know what it is with this team in the fourth quarter when you all of a sudden you need a basket. All of a sudden, people freeze. Nobody is setting picks. Goran Dragic is not the 25-year-old anymore, right? So he has the ball, and he's waiting for people to move. And they're just standing around. And then the one thing that just drove me nuts was at one point under 3 minutes to go, Kendrick Nunn had the ball, pushed it up, went to the top of the key, and there was nobody moving, right? So what does Nunn do? I'm just going to shoot it. What are you doing? Call timeout or anything. Like, reset yourself. I don't know. It's just those things that, I'm saying, like, it kind of makes me remember the game in Washington, right? Where you were up so big, you played your ass off, and in the fourth quarter, you're like, let's just lollygag here. And then, thankfully we won that game just like tonight. But still, it's like, it shouldn't be this difficult, guys. It shouldn't be. And tonight was a game that we had to give 150% effort. And that's disappointing. That's very disappointing, but a win's a win.
So, why you say a win's a win? Like we said before, the way that you win is very important. While we are proud of the way that Mo and K9 played, this game did start
Oh,
out.
I wanna know if I wanna know if Uncle felt the same way for the last week or so with this hashtag Keep Mo, or is it just happening tonight?
Yeah, no way in hell he felt like that.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Keep Nunn. Bro.
Yeah, so the game did actually start out looking a lot like the last game. The Heat fell behind really big early, made a comeback. I want Jonathan to jump in here. What did you see, John, like during that like the topsy turvy way that this game was going?
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning of the game, it was another slow start. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the beginning of the game, it was a really slow start. I mean, we gave up too many 3-point shots. I think they were like 5 for 7 starting off the game from 3. And then on top of that, 12 of their other 28 points or something like that came right at the rim. So we were giving up shots at the rim and at the 3-point line. So that was really not good to see that we were just giving up so many points so early. And the second thing is we came out and we didn't have an offensive flow. We didn't really have that flow that we saw like in the third quarter. We didn't have that in the first quarter, and we were still looking for it. Yes, sir. Royal got that. Okay, Nunn is the man. He is the man for real, for real. I mean, but more into that first quarter, it was really messy. It was really mucky, and we were still looking to see kind of where the offense was going to come from and try to find it. And I mean, there was a little bit of a burst from Goran that kept us afloat that quarter. And definitely Kendrick Nunn played well, but in that first quarter, Kendrick Nunn couldn't guard a guy in a wheelchair league. Like, he couldn't guard anybody. He couldn't stay in front of anybody. He couldn't stay on his man off ball. So, and the team just showed a lack of ability to guard the pick and roll. You know what I mean? Just such a simple play that other teams are going to run. So first quarter was very, very discouraging. We were down like 22, but as the game moved forward, we started to get a little more tendency. Duncan started to get hot. We started to see a little more flow offensively. And I love the fourth quarter from Bam. I think 13 of his 26 came in the fourth quarter. So that was really good to see. But adding on to what you guys were saying a little bit earlier, it does matter how we win. We shouldn't have 8 turnovers in the fourth quarter, making that game as close as it is. And even though we got the win, why is this game coming down to free throws? And why are we having this game come down to free throws? And we have almost 4 guys score almost 20 points. We had the best game of K-Nun's season. We had the fire game from Duncan Robinson. Like, this shouldn't be a game where we're just winning by like 3 or 5 points.
And you're talking about why these games are coming down here. You're talking about 8 turnovers in the fourth quarter. Again, the Heat struggling with keeping the ball to themselves. They had 18 turnovers again tonight. That is tough to overcome every night when you're just turning the ball over. You're just giving the damn ball away. Like, that's what they've done all season long. And you were able to overcome it tonight with strong games from Duncan. Had K Nunn played the way that he normally plays, we lose this game too.
Yeah, great point, Royal. Great point.
So, and then you talk about and then like the 2 most worthless players on this team are the reason that we won it. So yeah, K9 who showed up with his offense, I'm for real, and Mo Harkless came on with his defense, and like his defensive effort on Jeremy Grant, in my opinion, was very huge for us in that second half and being able to slow him down.
I agree.
So, go ahead, John. Like, what did you see from Mo Harkless? I know we spent a lot of time on K9.
Well, it's just to start off with, to talk about how bad they were playing in the beginning before the season. In the pregame show, we were asking if we had a gun to our head, who would we rather play, Nunn or Mo Harkless? And we were going on the horn with that. But both of those guys played significant minutes in the fourth quarter. Nunn did his thing offensively. He made his pull-up shot. And it felt like December or November of 2019 when this guy comes out of nowhere and he starts hitting these shots, and he was hitting these mid-rangers. He was hitting these jumpers. KZ pretty much back in Gulag. He's gonna have to kill somebody to get his way back out and make it back to the court again, because man, minus 12 in 4 minutes. What is that, like a minus 240 in 36 minutes? Something crazy like that. But getting back to Nunn and Harkless, like you said, played really good defense on Jeremy Grant. He was like the only guy, even Bam at times, until that block at the end, he was getting ran past the court by Jeremy Grant. And Jeremy Grant was just showing, why. And I didn't even know this before the game, he's related to Horace Grant, and his dad's like a basketball player too. Like I was like, dang, bro, I missed out on this. But he was playing like his family runs in his blood. But Mo Harkless came in. He caused that turnover late in the fourth, with a minute left to go. He reached around the back of Grant, and he made us get that turnover, and that was really important for us to secure that game because we had 8 turnovers in the fourth, and to get that extra possession, that was key. So Nunn and Harkless, I mean, thumbs up for those guys this game. I hope they can keep it going, or I hope we flip Nunn before his value drops off again.
I'm telling you. So you talked about Grant and his basketball lineage. It kind of goes along with like the Holidays and the Plumleys. Speaking of which, that damn Plumlee looked like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the first fucking quarter. Bam couldn't guard him. We couldn't do anything with him. Like, Manny, like, what is wrong with this team's defense? Like, it's just a problem all the time. Like, if we don't outshoot teams, then we're going to lose because we can't play defense. And I'm sorry to be so negative, but it's like, to me, this wasn't a good game. Like, we won, but we still played a relatively bad game.
Royal, you know what's one thing I've noticed, right, is that whenever we play a team or whenever we play basketball this season so far, at least like 1 out of every 3-4 teams come into, either the AAA or we go to their house and they start making all these wild threes, right? And it's like, well, I've never seen this team make so many threes before, but then all of a sudden they're hitting them against us. So then now, you look at the total defense as a whole, I don't think we're not in position. I just feel like, man, I don't know what word I can probably say. It's not lack of concentration because you're right in front of the man. And I think, when you have a guy like Grant that switches from Mo to Bam because he noticed that, Mo was guarding him the whole night. He wasn't getting anything. And that's what happened towards the end of this game, right? Is that Grant was looking for that pick and roll to get at Bam, to drive it to the basket and whatnot. But, I mean, I don't think there's a problem with the defense. What I think it's hurting us is that you're turning over the ball on offense. It's getting the teams more opportunities to score down the other end, not to mention that the ball handling has been absolutely crap. And when you don't have a point guard towards the end of the game that can actually make it work, I mean, we're having poor man Dragic trying to make everything happen towards the end. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I think if you take care of the ball much better throughout the game, it'll help your defense. But, of course, when the other team has 25-plus points off turnovers, that's very difficult to overcome, especially when it happens game after game after game. And that's the issue that's happening. Nothing is changing. You're still getting the plus turnovers. You're getting them in the fourth quarter, and you're not playing at least a full 40-minute basketball game. You're not. And that's not going to win you much in the East. And that's sad, right? Because the East is not that difficult, I think, besides 2 or 3 teams. But,
so we're talking about this, and it just like it feels so depressing. Oh Lord, so clutch is joy. But so this feels like such a depressing win. Like I want to be excited about it. I want to feel good about what just happened. But this
is what I hope, Royal. This is what I hope, and this is the last thing I'll say about this specific topic. I hope this win doesn't make Pat Riley not call more or not make him think more. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna make him pause a little bit. Because I don't think so. This team to come out today on fire. Come out today with some better energy than what you did. You got freaking embarrassed last game. And before you show up, this is the best you can do.
Listen, I think Pat's still calling tonight because we got very good games from 2 players who we don't expect shit from. Like that's reality. Like Kendrick Nunn, nobody on any network thought K Nunn was going to come in here and score. And had he not scored, we lose this game, and we're having the same post-game show that we've had 5 times before this. Somebody asked, did Clutch kick Manny off again? Probably. So Ramlakan, am I tripping, Ramlakan, or is it like, does this win just not feel good?
No, I mean we barely won against a team at the bottom of the league. I mean, at the end, like, you know what I mean? Like, we barely won against the team that's at the bottom of the league. Like that, we shouldn't be just barely winning against these teams. If we want to show that we're Eastern Conference Finals contending team, a Finals contending team, We have to blow these teams out. We have to show that we can win every quarter. Okay, maybe we don't have the best quarter every single quarter, but we can't go down 22 in the first quarter. And we can't have 8 turnovers in the fourth quarter. And I don't think you're overreacting at all, because this team needs to show that, hey, we can take care of business. We can take care of these crappy teams that are on the bottom of the league, and we can compete with these ties at the top of the league. Like we just saw the Brooklyn Nets and the Milwaukee Bucks go at it, and they looked good. And this team does not look like a team that can compete with those two teams right now, with the team that we currently have. And that's all I got to say about that. Second thing I got to say is, dude, Eric Reed was harping on Blake Griffin. He was like, man, Blake Griffin looks bad for a 31-year-old. Like, Blake Griffin, you'd expect him to have something. He was talking about how he can't post up Kendrick Nunn.
No. In the end of the fourth, when he was posting up on Duncan, and he said something like, look, he can't even get past Duncan.
No, but real shit, though. Like, Blake Griffin's game has it has evaporated.
Done.
Like, he spends the whole fucking game out there at the 3-point line. And I want to get Clutch in here because he doesn't join. I don't want him just sitting here like dictating the conversation. I know, because you want to come in here and dictate the floor of the show from behind the scenes while you're on camera. But no, I want you to get in here. Was Kendrick Nunn's performance today an audition for Cleveland?
No, it wasn't. It was really encouraging. I really liked what I saw from Kendrick. I liked what I saw from Harkless, from Goran. Those guys really showed up. They came to play, and they should have. You know, this team is a bottom of the barrel kind of team. They should be playing well against those types of teams. And Bam did what he's supposed to do. So I don't care that they're down 2 starters. This is a game they should win. And they should have done it more convincingly than what they did, or what they did tonight. So that first quarter was a disgrace. Honestly, that first half was, but they corrected it in the third quarter. They made the adjustments, and it's not a great win. This isn't a win to be cheerful about, but it's a win. And it shows that this team can come back from those big deficits still early in the season.
And so somebody's making a thing about Bam 7 turnovers. Bam turning the ball over has been a problem. Excuse me. But the reason that I'm not harping on it is because of what most people are saying. They're saying, you know, Jimmy's out and Tyler's out. Those people are going to take some of the ball handling duties away from Bam. The reason that I don't give this team a pass for these games without Tyler and Jimmy is because you're supposed to be much better than the worst team in the league. Like, and even if you're down 2 players, with Goran, with Bam, with Duncan, you should be able to win these games against Detroit and win them convincingly. And we haven't seen that from this team this season. So some people may say I'm overreacting, but I've been consistent in saying that this team needs to play better. So Duncan is our Blake stopper. I like that. None better. No, it's not none better. My favorite one is nonsense. That's Tiffany meets every time he played Blake Rookie of the Year Griffin. KZ. Hey, Jonathan, talk to me something about KZ. I mean, yeah, he played terrible, but do you give him another chance, or is he back in the doghouse?
No, I mean, you got to give him another chance. You know what I mean? If Mo Harkless doesn't play good this game, what do? I think you go back to probably playing KZ just because of the amount of people we have. You know what I mean? So Mo Harkless showed that he was good defensively tonight, and it'll be interesting to see if he's able to keep this up consistently. But if he's not, those minutes are KZ minutes if he's not able to do what he has to do. You know what I mean? Who else comes and takes those minutes? You don't want Iguodala to have a big load on his plate early in the season. You know, you don't want these old guys to have this big load. So, yeah, I still think, you know, KZ had a bad game, but at the end of the second quarter, when we needed to stop and we put that defensive lineup out there, KZ was part of that defensive lineup. It was KZ, Iguodala, Goran, Precious, and Bam. I believe that was the lineup within the last minute. And that's still could be a good defensive lineup if we, let's say we're up 10 and we have a minute 15 to go. That could be a lineup. That could be a sleeper and something we could throw out in the playoffs to try to stop a team later in the game. So, yeah, KZ sucked tonight. You know what I mean? Like a minus 180 per 36. You know what I mean? But other than that, I mean, you got to give him another chance. He's still too young just to bench kind of like Kendrick Nunn.
So, Manny, we're kind of on the back end or on I guess the expected slump of Kelly Olynyk. Like as everybody
1
knew
for
it was
5 from
coming.
3 tonight.
I'm sorry.
1 for 5 from 3.
Oh, it was much worse than that 1 for 5 suggested. I just want to make sure. Like he looks fucking terrible. Like I don't know. I don't know how else to put it. Like, what are we gonna do with KO? Like, do we keep trying him out as the starter? Do we go back to Mo Harkless? Do we start KZ? What do you think we do there?
I think we gotta. What else can we do right now? You know what I mean?
Are
Like,
we training for anybody at that position right now?
yeah,
I,
you know,
I mean, listen. If
I mean,
none continues,
here's my only
if none continues on this trend, we'll be trading him for Christian Wood soon enough.
Adam.
hopefully, that would be nice.
Adam, please answer me this question. Like, what's holding this team back from just giving KC more opportunities, man? Like, what is it that's making them so pause?
I just don't think Spo trusts him.
Right? It has to be at this point, right? Especially with
Yes.
all these guys out.
It's like, did you see him tonight? He started tonight, but
But it was a
That's
placeholder
one
position.
game, but even before with everybody out, you just feel like he doesn't give them.
He's gonna have more of an opportunity. It could be just a rotation thing where he didn't see the fit with KZ tonight, and he saw that Mo Harkless was playing better, which you can't fault Spo for doing. I mean, Mo Harkless played well tonight, and he played in his role, and he did what he was supposed to do. So you can't ask for anything more from that from Mo Harkless. But I do believe that KZ will have the opportunity to continue showcasing what he can do and gain Spo's trust, because I don't expect Jimmy to be back for another few games. So KZ will have that opportunity.
Against Toronto?
Absolutely. And Brooklyn.
So it'll be interesting to see how he matches up. Yeah, they have a lot of wings, and Toronto has wings too. That, you know, OG and Pascal. That's two guys that we can test out. We can see if KZ is able just to do his job. You know what I mean? Because last game, what he had, 18 points, 15 points, something like that. He had a good game. You know, he had like 10 points in the first quarter or something like that. But I feel like KZ is one of those guys that can continue to develop. And as long as we keep giving him the reps and allowing him to grow, he'll be better. You know what I mean? Look at Duncan Robinson's first year. He was garbage. He shot like 25% from three. And he looked like not an NBA player at all. So it might just take some time for, like what Adam said, Spo just to trust him. And once Spo trusts somebody, you can tell because they kind of stick in the lineup. You know what I mean? So once he gets that trust and once he's able to show he can handle himself defensively, he has a wherewithal of what's going on in the offense, where to be on offense, kind of what his job is on offense. I feel like he'll be able to get more minutes moving forward.
Look, for all the KZ talk, I think what actually moves it forward or gives it so much momentum is the Duncan Robinson thing. Miami Heat fans now expect a player out of nowhere to come in and be a rotation player immediately. And to be honest, if Mo had it worked out, then the KZ thing would have became less and less of a thing because he wouldn't be playing. Like he wouldn't be on the court. And that brings me to my point. Kendrick Nunn and Mo Harkless tonight did what we expected them to do. Like if they did this on a nightly basis, then the team's floor just goes up to another level. Because
not their ceiling, floor.
Yeah, their floor, not their ceiling. There's a completely different thing. I don't believe either one of those players changes the ceiling on this team, but they do raise the floor for what you can and cannot do. If you can put Tyler, or if you can put Kendrick Nunn in when Tyler's not playing, get some offensive production, then you know it hurts less when one player's out. Same thing with Harkless. If you can put him at the three, which I think he played better at the three tonight than he does at the four. But if you can put him at the three when Jimmy's out and still maintain some of that defensive presence, then it can only help this team.
Oladipo looked good in a Rocket uniform.
Yeah, he did look really good. I was thinking that too. I was watching his game. I was
Sorry,
like, all right, these guys are going at the same time.
I've been trying to steer clear of all the hopefuls and the trade talks, the inevitable that happens whenever Clutch joins the show. Like,
I'm not saying anything. This is about this game.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to keep it to. I want to keep it to this game, limit our focus. Anything else that you guys saw from this game? Because just being honest, I'm not all too impressed. I'm happy we won, but I mean, meh. Like,
I mean,
Bam's a shooter.
I was gonna say that.
Absolutely.
I would say outside of those 7 turnovers that he had, the shot looked great. He hit a buzzer beater against Jeremy Grant, I think, in the end of the first half, where he would just got that bucket. I think got the foul, and then to start the fourth quarter, first of all, 13 of his 26 in the fourth, That's awesome. And the first 3 minutes, he took 3 jumpers. He took a step back jumper. He took a jumper, one dribble, pull up about step behind the free throw line, and he was showing that he has that touch. And it's really go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's wonderful to see him be aggressive and actually try to assert himself in the game, take these shots, and put himself out of his normal comfort zone instead of just turning his back to the basket and looking for the next dribble handoff.
All of his points, it felt like, came off of jumpers or off of the free throw line. Every single one, which is something you really like to see because you know he can work on the inside and in the post. So it's great to see that he can actually step into that jumper and hit it when he needs to. When the clock, the shot clock's at the end and he needs to make a jumper, he can do that for you. So it's great to see. And I said it earlier, it's amazing how Bam Adebayo became an 85 to 90% free throw shooter overnight, where it felt like it just came out of nowhere in the playoffs, and it's continuing here in the regular season. I don't know what happened, but he went from like a 65, 70% free throw shooter to an 85, 90%, and that's almost unheard of.
He started channeling his inner Kevin Garnett, and that's what the fuck happened to him. Like, some people said that his jumper is reminiscent of Bosh, but he looked like DeMar DeRozan to me tonight. Like he was shooting pull-up.
That's a weird name to put up there.
Yeah, but I mean, DeMar DeRozan is a mid-range assassin, and that's what Bam looked like tonight. Like he was like you said, his points almost exclusively came from the mid-range area, and that's encouraging. Like that's encouraging to see how fluid he looked shooting the ball. How comfortable he looked shooting the ball.
I mean, the one thing that upset me was I think he had one of the Plumlees, whatever his name is. He had him on an island. Yeah, he had him on an island, and he did all these dribble moves, right? But the thing was, he didn't actually look at the basket. He was looking to pass to somebody while he was putting the ball between his legs, and he was doing all these moves. Like, what is that going to do for you if you're not looking at the basket? He's looking to pass all the time. And that's my only issue that I have with him. He needs to look at the basket. His first mentality should be to score because he's better than all of these dudes. And the quicker he realizes it, the better it is for the Heat.
I like how the whole panel got in on the name thing.
Yeah, no, and I also think, Adam, that tonight at least I saw that in the fourth quarter game that I saw, right? He got the ball and in a way that he needed points from somebody. And you can see it was him just trying to be the guy tonight. You know what? If we're going to lose by me just shooting the ball. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't me catching it at the top of the key and seeing who's open and me just swinging it over. It was not. I'm going to shoot this jumper with confidence. And yes, he airballed one, but still, that's
who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Who cares? I'm perfectly fine living with that. And that's what you want to see. A Bam that's confident, that's aggressive, and that's going to say, you know what? Enough with me passing the ball. It's 3 minutes left in the fourth. We haven't scored in like 3 minutes. We have 8 turnovers. I'm just going to shoot. And that's what you want to see out of your max play.
And with him playing the center.
Go ahead.
I'll just say with him playing the center, he's a little bit undersized as a center. He's almost about the same size as like LeBron James. And if you look at LeBron, whenever he has a big on him, he's able to take them off the dribble. And of course, Bam is not LeBron, but Bam has a speed advantage on almost every 5 that he plays in this league. So if he starts pretty much. So if he has his jumper and these bigs have to guard him closer, he needs to stop looking, like you said, to pass when he's making these dribble moves because he can take all these guys off the dribble, finish at the rim, and possibly draw contact. So I think that's the next step to see with Bam is him using this shot that he has now to draw defenders out and now take them off the dribble and show his touch around the rim.
I think in certain pockets of tonight's game, you saw that Bam realized that he was the best goddamn player on the court. Just over, I'm the best fucking player here.
Royal, he needs to do that every night.
Here, that's what I was going to say. Manny, look at this comment.
He does need to do it every night, but Bam got points from the field on
top. No, not this comment. Hold on. This one. He dropped 28 in back-to-back games. I need to see him do it with Jimmy on the floor.
Yeah.
That's what I want him to do it.
Yeah, that'll be really nice. And like Ramadan was saying, like he has this jumper now, and he has the speed advantage over every 5. But he seems to prefer to shoot the jumper than to ever take anybody off the dribble to the rim. And I think that's a function of how the offense works, where he's one of the best, I guess, dribble handoff guys in the league, and he wants to be that, and that's cool and all, but that needs to be secondary to you going out there and trying to get a bucket. Spo needs to force Bam to shoot.
Man, Bam shooting.
Directions out from MapQuest.
Does MapQuest still exist?
I'm gonna look it up right now.
I use Google Maps right now.
I use Waze.
Shit.
I mean, MapQuest does still exist. I guess for everybody that use like HughesNet, in the middle of bum nowhere in Mississippi or whatever.
Everybody who uses rotary phones still out here looking for goddamn MapQuest.
Ethan gets a beeper alert when he gets a show. That's why he's always late.
He's asleep. It's 11 o'clock.
Well past his bedtime.
Absolutely.
What to say? Ethan still uses his TomTom. Damn.
Wait. Dude was a Rookie of the Year runner-up. Look, Kendrick. I think this is about Hero, not Kendrick. Okay. Yeah, but okay. Kendrick was the Rookie of the Year running up.
Yeah, but
Whatever.
But so somebody made that argument to me, and I was like, he's not that guy. Like he's not him anymore. And I think Kendrick Nunn being second in Rookie of the Year is in large part because Zion didn't play. Oh my God! And in the other part to the way the Miami Heat used him. Ethan,
where are you people during Clutch Corner? I need some of this during Clutch Corner.
Yeah, we have an entire segment dedicated to these type of comments.
No, but I think overall it was a good game for Bam. It was a good game for Goran. They did what they needed to do, but that early shock in the first quarter is something that'll stick on a lot of Heat fans' minds. Again,
Adam, you expected, well, I'm sure Heat Nation expected a little bit more of a punch, and instead you have to get a jab first before you even responded,
and that's a problem. That's a big problem because there are certain teams. There are certain teams that are going to punch you and then keep punching you, and that's teams like the Brooklyn Nets or the Milwaukee Bucks. We've already seen it with the Bucks once, and some of these teams the Heat won't be able to come back and recoup against. We were lucky that it was against the Pistons tonight, but they need to be able to handle, these outbursts more and more regularly.
The fact that you said we were lucky that we were playing the Detroit Pistons. That should put this entire season into perspective for people. Like, God damn, bro, how hard is it to beat the Pistons? Are they the worst team in the league?
To be fair, the Pistons did have a really tough schedule, so it's a little weird to see that they're in the bottom of the standings, but they're still a bad team that we are not expecting to make the playoffs.
They're a bad team with an ugly ass Jordan Edition jersey. I'll tell you that. How dare you disrespect that logo with that ugly ass gray and white jump band logo, man?
Garbage. But adding on to what Clutch was saying, if we're playing teams and we go down 20, we had a 16-3 run in the second, and we had a 17-4 run in the third, and we won by 3. You know what I mean? So we're not going to go on those types of runs against teams with much more potent offenses with the Kevin Durant, or with the Giannis coming to at us and stuff like that. So we can't allow ourselves to keep going down so big and be like, okay, Duncan will hit a couple in a row and get us back to his. Because if Duncan's not hitting, we don't get back in this game. That's the only reason we get back in this game so quickly is if we can hit a couple threes in a row. But if we're not doing that and we're playing against offensive teams that have better offenses, we're not going to have those runs where we outscore them by 13 in a 5-minute period because they have the players to combat that.
I just want to remind you guys that this is Michael flexing on us that he got a vaccine.
And that he rides planes.
Yeah.
You can just rent a car. Yeah. All right, guys. I don't want to talk about this game anymore because it's actually pretty goddamn depressing. Just being honest with you, bro. Like, in Clutch, we trust.
So, you guys are NBA Clutch tomorrow. You guys got a new co-host and stuff.
A rotation player.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure
you want to talk about her?
They're way better than Nunn and Mo put together.
Yeah. Talk about her. We got 2 new ones.
Okay. What are their names?
Yeah, right.
Michael Christian will be joining the Clutch Corner full time. And Alana, I don't know how to say her last name.
Tahauer. The C is silent.
That sounds definitely wrong. But we're gonna ask her about that tomorrow. She's like a horoscope guru. Is it horoscopes?
Something with astrology. She'll tell us and diagnose everything what's wrong with the Heat.
Royal, don't you do your research on your people, man? Like, what the hell, dude? You don't know anything?
She's not my people. She's Clutch's people. We're all
But
taking
you're part of the show. You're part of the show.
Yeah, I followed her on Twitter, bro. I thought that was the contractual obligation. Whenever they get on 5 Reasons, you follow them on Twitter, and then that's done. You don't have to look at their tweets or anything like that. But no, I've actually had a quick conversation with her in messages, and she's cool. So I'm looking.
She's a professional. I don't know why she's joining us, but she's an actual real. She's been on Fox Sports. She's a big deal.
Oh well, there goes her highlight. There goes her tape. Like, that shit's out the window now. Anybody who gets on any stream with me, just know that you should not show these clips to anybody if you're looking for a professional upgrade. Okay, that is not what this is for. It says sounds like she's Ethan's supplier. What does she supply Ethan with?
Prune juice.
Geritol.
MapQuest.
She prints the directions and gives it to him.